Last weekend, radical activist groups from the downtown east side took to the streets to demand action from government on social housing. Among the groups involved were VANDU, the Vancouver Area Network of Drug Users, and CCAP, or the Carnegie Community Action Project. You may remember CCAP as the group that actively vandalized and even damaged restaurants like Pigeon because they thought it represented the gentrification they oppose. Well, Saturday's protest saw them march across the downtown east side before arriving at an empty lot owned by the city. That's where the protest turned to illegal activity. Despite a locked gate, activists broke in, cutting the lock behind a banner. Then proclaimed this is their new home and indicated they would be setting up a tent city.
Some of us are going to be setting up tents here, and we're going to be staying here and holding this space, and we're going to be inviting homeless people from the downtown east side and throughout the city to come and stay here and have this as a community.
Yeah, another tent city. Something I am disappointed to tell you have become somewhat synonymous with Vancouver and our homeless problem. I can think of at least half a dozen going back to when I was a kid. And here we go again. People being allowed to break in and trespass on city property while the cops stood by and did nothing. This latest tent city comes on the heels of a court order to finally dismantle the much publicized tent city over in Victoria. Just a few days ago, a judge ruled that the tent city must go by August 8th. One tent city gone, another pops up. Now, I wasn't at this protest to necessarily interview the participants. I'm not really out to publicize the problems and mock people who clearly have issues and deserve our compassion. For me, I have a problem with the radical organizers of such events because they take advantage of our most vulnerable. So it was of no surprise to me to find out that one of the organizers was Harsha Walia, or as I call her, a wannabe Naomi Klein. I'd love to tell you all about her, but why don't I just let her do the talking? Here's Harsha Walia in her own words.
I don't personally engage in black bloc tactics, but as a longtime community organizer and as a woman of color, I want to stand in full and firm support of diversity of tactics and in solidarity with those who do.
And talking about how Canada is going to increase and put more money into environmental sustainability when this country has the tar sands in its backyard, where on a daily basis Indigenous people suffer from the impacts of one of the most extractive industries on the planet right now.
You know, that was 5 years ago, so perhaps I should allow for people's opinions to evolve, right?
And we know that the cops are not our f***ing friends. All across this continent, they arrest people, they detain people, they're killing black and brown and Indigenous people all across Turtle Island. They're forcing land defenders into jail.
Well, that was Saturday, just 2 days after 5 police officers were killed and another 6 shot by Micah Johnson at a protest for Black Lives Matter, in Dallas. But even more unsettling was the fact that Vancouver police were happy just to stand by, let them cut a padlock, break into city property, and spew such terrible rhetoric towards the police. The police knew about this protest, and they just stood by while the activists broke the law. What? Are we supposed to not notice this lawlessness? Well, that's what the Vancouver Police Department were hoping for. Here's what happened when I called to find out what they are planning to do about this protest.
Thank you for holding. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay. So just a few things. I'm unable to get a hold of anybody right now, but what I do advise is, is it necessary that you need to cover this, or
yes.
If you're concerned for your safety?
No, I'm not concerned for my safety.
Into that situation.
No. I was just curious if there will be, if the police are actually going to be there, just kind of doing crowd control, or there's actually going to be preventative measures being done to stop another tent city popping up.
There's if this is what's the plan, but nothing happening right now, say if you go there tomorrow and this is actually happening and they are actually congregating at, this location that you say they are, and there's no police presence and it starts to get rowdy and very, an unpeaceful protest.
Oh yeah, I would call it in. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll call 911 if it starts to get...
That's all I can suggest at this time, unfortunately, because I have absolutely no information to give you at this time, and there's really no way of determining where this protest could or which way it will go, right?
We've seen this happen time and time again. We know these tent cities come with extra costs to taxpayers as the weeks roll on and we eventually get a court order someday to finally take them down once they get out of control. So when will City Hall and the VPD start being proactive and not letting these illegal tent cities pop up? Well, your guess is as good as mine. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.